All right, it says we're live. So let's see how this works. All right, let's bounce over here. Okay, so I'm using OBS software. And let me go back into something here to change something over here. And I was kind of hoping to see, okay, let's go into that. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm testing out the live streaming capability. There's one other thing I want to do here is I want to open up, and it'd probably be better if I opened up my laptop. I didn't think about that, but I'll do that. It's better to have two screens. If you got more than one screen, if you see anybody out there with, they do gaming or something like that, they'll have, let me just play around with this a little bit. They'll have multiple screens. They'll have 2 or 3 screens actually. And it would be best to have the OBS software on one screen and then be able to have the other, what's going on another screen. So let me just open up what it is I'm talking about here. And that's basically going into YouTube. And when we get there, go to the channel. And here's where things might get kind of goofy. My channel. Let's go to your own channel, and there should be a live feed. When you click on this, you're going to have to kill your sound right there. And we get a free advertisement going on. Hey, bottle caps. Yeah, I did. I shaved. I forget why. But let me see. I'm just playing around with the software right now on doing a live stream. So I guess this is my preview window here. It'd be cool if we could resize this thing. Or move it around or whatever. But the trying to see this little graph right here is great. Oh, let me actually probably explain what I did. Okay, so this is funny. You guys are seeing this? No, okay, all right. Let me go over here. Boom. All right, so this is my screen that I'm looking at, and I can see the comments over here. And in the live streaming stuff, I can see the stuff over here too, so I can see your comments there too. I can say, by the way, I left my keister off over the please stop my car. Anyway, so there you go. I don't know what these errors are. It seems to work anyway. I get these little errors up here, but it seems to work anyway. All right, so what I did is I went out and picked up a device. Let's see if this thing comes up. It looks great on my camera. And see, yeah, I see a little bit of lag on there now. Let me see if this thing comes up. Can we skip the ad? Goodbye. All right. So hopefully this device will come up here. I'll hold it up here and it'll show up. How's it going? How you doing? I'm playing around with this new thing. It's a Camlink 4K. I'm waiting for it to catch up on my video screen. There you go. This is a device I've been looking at for a long time. And I decided to pick it up to see how it works, if it works well and everything else. I punched it into my camera, and my camera just was instantly recognized. My camera, I can't really show it, but basically it's a very, they don't make it anymore. It's a Canon Vixia. I'll have to make sure I put all this stuff in the description. I'm using a Canon Vixia HFR 500 camera. That's a mouthful, but I'll explain it in the thing below. But basically, this box is bigger, pretty much, except for the width. The box is bigger than my camera, And the camera has a nice flip-out screen on it, kind of like my cell phone. I get a cell phone screen, and you can have a nice big viewfinder. And then on the cell phone, the camera is just a little bit of that. So the camera cell phones are even better. Or the cell phone cameras are even better. The front-facing camera on the cell phones is a great deal. Here is the actual camera that I use. So this is my ZTE Axon 7. And most of my videos that I shoot when I'm sitting there talking to the screen or whatever is on this phone here. And it works really, really well. But the webcam that's built into my laptop computer, it's a gaming laptop. So I figured it should have a 16K video camera, but it doesn't. It has a really bad 720p camera. It does okay, but not nearly as good as the cell phone. Like on that one test I did with my equipment, I had this set up using Wi-Fi. Hey, Bits of Panther, Real Panther, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? It's good to see you here. Anyway, so I was using my ZTE Axon 7. I set it up on my tripod back here. I reach this thing with these headphones in. So this is my tripod, right? So I set this thing up on a tripod, and I used my laptop computer, you know, to monitor the stuff on the screen here. And but the video image was excellent on it. It's a 1080p front-facing camera. It's a 4K on the back, but it's 1080p on the front. It did really, really well. It looked great. The 720p camera on my laptop looked like trash. I hated the thing. And I was always upset with it. It's okay if you make a small image. Like, let me bounce over here to the other software for a second. I like this. This is the OBS software. They got the live stream OBS one too. And I make my picture smaller over there, the bottom right. And, you know, that's cool. You know, I like that. And for 720p, for making it, if you're a gamer, if you're actually a gamer and you're putting your image real small in a corner down there in the bottom right or bottom left or whatever, and you do a green screen behind you, get rid of all the clutter behind you, and you can have your game in the shot. That's great. That's fantastic. But if you want to take up, like, say I want to make a fuller screen image for something, like for a period of time or whatever, I'm going to be talking about something, I want the larger screen on there, well, then, you know, that's going to be a bit different, you know. So for all the different aspects that we can use live streams for, educational things, entertainment things, gaming, whatever, hobbies, whatever we're doing, it's kind of a real chore, shall we say, to get everything going together. Webcams have horrible audio. I'm hearing a crackle on my headset right now, so I don't know which piece of equipment that is. I got a couple of things hooked up here. Let me just touch this for a second. I don't know which. I'm also trying to figure out which one I have hooked up. Let me just touch this a little bit. Touch that a little bit. There we go. All right, sounds a little bit better. All right. So the I'm still hearing some things in my ear. Anyway, so the setup here is it's my old camera. It's just basically a consumer camcorder. When I bought this thing, I paid $200 for it. My wife's like, get it. My wife, misdemeanor. She's like, just get it, because for $200 it costs thousands and thousands of dollars less than your professional camera. And I talk about a professional camera. It's like I got all these professional microphones sitting around, and they take the XLR adapter on them, right? That's a 3-prong XLR thing, and you know, I can't use them with this camera, but I have a microphone mixer which I can show. And over here, I got the microphone mixer sitting on top of my video bag. There's a video bag that goes with me. But there's the mixer right there, and I can plug in all my professional microphones and stuff like that, and then I can just feed them with a wire. I got a special wire that has wrong wire, wrong camera. So, anyways, so we got to be careful with all this stuff bouncing around here. But I'm trying to get this one cable here, and this cable here has XLR, right? So we got an XLR cable to a mini, you know, 3.5. The camera just fell on my screen. Anyway, so the 3.5 millimeter thing, and I can connect this directly to my consumer camera. Get that little 3.5 millimeter plug in it, so you can plug that thing in and have it happening, right? So you get the job done, having things happening there. So that's good. So I can hook maybe the mixer over to the camera here, maybe on video bag. Anyway, so the mixer, professional mixer, I can bring out, you know, takes the XLR in the back. Has phantom power for my microphones that require power, and most of them do. Actually, they all do except for one. And then I take that stuff, and I connect it to the little camera. And these are my headphones. I can listen to myself, the live monitoring. I can hear it from my camera, so that's fine. And that's picking up this microphone because it's connected to the same camera. So just like a Blue Yeti microphone, right? We can do that live monitoring. The microphone that I'm using here, I can monitor live. So what's all this all about? Let me get back to this Camlink 4 here. It's crazy. It drives me nuts that I can't take my camera and just connect it directly to my computer and have it work. Back in the old days with FireWire, you know, I could just connect it into my thing and my camera would be a webcam. It'd be great, right? But for some reason, somehow, some way, the camera manufacturers don't want us to be able to use, for some reason, don't know why. I mean, maybe it's a licensing agreement somewhere somehow that I'm not unaware of, but we can't just simply connect straight to the camera. from the camera to the computer. So I use this Camlink 4K, which apparently will do up to 4K. But it uses the HDMI output from my camera. And I know that it's an output because the way I test it is I take this HDMI output, I hook it up to my monitor here. My monitor is actually just basically a TV screen. So there you go. So that's my monitor's just a big, TV screen sitting there. We used to bring it into the courtroom and stuff. And then, get my videos connected to that. I mean, it came out clear, so it works. So it's an output, it's HDMI output. So the Camlink 4 says, I talked to them today and everything, and actually called them up on the phone. Said, hey, will this thing work? And I said, we're not 100% sure it probably will, but if you connect, and it doesn't, you don't have to buy any equipment or anything or do anything, but you can test your camera to see if it, basically, it's like on a TV show or something, you see somebody, you're doing some camcorder work, what they'll do is, they'll put that little thing on the screen there and say little record light flashes and stuff. And then so somebody's using a camera, right, on a TV show or something like that, a comedy or something like that. And then the other thing is that they'll, so you don't want those icons, all those little icons on your camcorder screen that are even on your GoPro or whatever you might have. You don't want those things going out to your TV set. Basically, it's not outputting the information. It's putting out the image, but not all that information. That's what you kind of want. So that's what I did, and I set up the, basically I wish I had another spare camera sitting around here. I do, I got another camera sitting in bags back here. Let me just grab one. The microphone's right in front of me, so sorry about that if I just dropped it. Let me get my ears back in here. But it's like one of my old cameras right here. And the thing about this is it has XLR built into it. So you just plug a professional microphone right into it. But the problem with this is the only output it's got is really like FireWire. And nobody uses FireWire anymore because Apple owns that, and you have to pay for it. So there's a licensing agreement or something like that. Nobody wants to pay for it anymore. So if you want something, you have to spend a lot of money or use this really old computer I got in the back here that is the only thing that came with a FireWire built into it. But anyway, so I got my nice camera and everything, but what I've got is a really inexpensive camera that's probably small. It's smaller than just this part of this one camera. It allows me to use it to experiment with live stream stuff. So basically what I'm looking for, the bottom line of the whole thing, is looking for very low cost, inexpensive ways for effective and efficient ways for somebody who has a camera to be able to, get set up for doing live streams with something that's a lot better than a webcam. I mean, the webcams, they have horrible audio. Everybody knows that. The webcams have really just nasty audio, and they have questionable video. Even the webcam that's built into my gaming laptop has questionable video. So it's not very, and the audio, somebody mentioned the audio was lower or something like that on it, which is true, it probably was. I mean, because it was the microphone that's built into the laptop screen. So that's the only microphone I had on that. What do we got here? What is the equipment that's used here? Well, the microphone's expensive, the mixer's expensive, and even this microphone here is expensive. But the camera itself was $200. I mean, the brand new one, the Canon Vixia HFR 800 is the newest model, and that thing there is $200. Brand spanking new. This Camlink device here you can get for $129 plus tax if you buy it from B&H Photo Video. I tried to buy it from them, but they didn't have it available. But this thing here is like less than $200. So you got a camera that's $200, and you got this device here that's $200. Now, if I didn't have my microphone plugged in here, microphone that's built into the camera would be better than a microphone that's built into a webcam, so that this would work better than a webcam. So this is better than a webcam for a lot more money because webcams cost less than $100. But again, if they don't have the good audio, you need to have professional audio. And if they don't have good enough video, well, you want better video too. So, hey, Houndsman One, good to see you there. I got the camera set up way over here, and I'm looking across the screen over here at the text thing. But let me make that picture of me smaller again. I'll bet. Oh wow, he did the wrong thing. Let me go over here. All right, so I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna put this like a gamer. I'm gonna put it down there in the bottom right, make it a little smaller. All right, so this is just OBS Studio software. I was having a problem connection, by the way. If you're trying to do a stream or something like that, for anybody that does that, if you have any issues with it or whatever, I had to update my drivers for my video card. So when I updated the drivers for my video card, everything just started working. And not quickly, but it started working. It took a while for YouTube to notice it. However, with that said, the cell phone, kitty cat, let me just shut that off again. The cell phone, when I did that stream the other day on the cell phone, I went ahead and just went to YouTube and said start streaming, and it just worked. See, I mean, that's always worked. But on the computer, using a laptop or a desktop, I actually have to use OBS software to do the stream, which I find to be a pain in the neck, because Android is owned by Google and Chrome is owned by Google, and I'm using a Chrome browser, so I think that it should just work. But for some reason it's not. It's telling me there's some kind of a thing I can do. I can do some update. Anyway, so, but that's interesting. So I greatly appreciate everybody coming in and showing up. I don't announce these things when I do them. I just, when I have the time, I got crazy time. I call it crazy time. I got more time available than probably even bottle caps. And but the funny thing is, like, I got all this crazy time available. It's a weird, goofy time, you know. So I got time here, time there, but I can't schedule anything. So if I wanted to schedule a live stream, I really couldn't do it because I'm clueless of when I'm going to have this time. I was just doing some studying. What was I doing here? Oh, here we go. Here's the book. Here's the light reading I was working with today. Okay, just a little bit, but their handout, their lectures on California law. So. Anyway, so I was doing that today, and I got done with 4 hours of lecture, and it was time to do some other work. So I figured, you know what? Let me go see if I can get this other thing worked and hooked up, and it seems to be working. Let me go check my comments over here. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to check the comments, see if there's anything I need here. Yes, easy tips and tricks. I agree. It says going back to some of the older technology can be good. For this very reason. Yeah, I got, you know, this camera here basically is painfully, and it kills me. I waited to buy this camera. What is this one here? This is the, if I can get the name of it, XHA1 Canon. I got it for a good price because I waited, you know, before I went and jumped the gun on buying that thing back in the day. But I learned a valuable lesson because of that camera. It's like, I won't buy any other camera these days unless it has open source connections to it to get a video out of it. You know, if it doesn't have, like, the HDMI seems to be open source. USB is certainly available for everybody forever. So I'm going to make sure on any technology purchases going forward that whatever it is I buy is not going to have some stupid proprietary system in it. Now, nothing against Apple, iPhone, or anything like that. Yeah, I do. But the reason, I had an Apple iPhone 3GS. And my wife had an Apple 4. And my mother-in-law had an Apple 4, the iPhone. But after the iPhone 3GS to the 4, there was actually a huge change in the connection just to power the thing up, just to put it on the charger. And I saw that radical change in the connection. I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing this game anymore. And then I realized after the fact, I sort of kind of realized it, but didn't really get the grasp of it, that the FireWire connection, that little FireWire connection was great, sight and sound, just like HDMI, but I think HDMI probably came out because nobody wanted to pay, no, we're not going anywhere. Houndsman, we're not going anywhere. But the HDMI seems to be the answer to the FireWire thing. It's got sights and sound out there, it's a higher quality picture, and it's got some headroom built into the technology, so it lasts a while. Let me check out some more comments here. While I'm going through this test here, let me start from the top there. Let me see. Everything's going fine. Bottle caps for Christmas. That was a funny video that you sent me. Let me see here. Bits of Real Panther. Yeah, it's great to see you stopping by. Appreciate that. Let me see here. Who else we got? Was you got a 3 is here? 4? Houndsman 1. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Let me see. Houndsman 1. Houndsman 1. Merry Christmas. Let me see here. Putting up videos just like, okay, yeah. I haven't been putting up a whole lot of. Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, everybody's coming south for Christmas, right? And New Year's. It's been cold down here. I actually had to put on my long sleeve hoodie. That's getting, even in the hottest days of summer, I'll wear the hoodie anyway. So it can't be out in the sun. So in the winter, when it gets nice and comfortable weather, I get to wear the long sleeves anyway, but not sweat so much. But during the working season, when all the grass is growing and everything else, I can cut down trees and shrubs and stuff, then yeah, it gets pretty hot out there, but that's okay. Hey, we'll talk about this microphone I'm using here. I got a spare one somewhere. I got one in my bag. This is an interesting microphone that I'm using here. I couldn't use a couple of different ones, but I've selected to use one that's like this one here in the bag. This microphone has a funny connection on the bottom of it, but this plugs into an XLR adapter kind of thing, which is here in the bag, all right? I kind of made a mistake. When I bought these things originally, I could have bought them where these took a AA battery. And I don't like using batteries with microphones, but in my experiences with using microphones that use a AA battery, they last a long time, so that worked pretty well. But this one here is just basically, it connects this thing to an XLR. So that's a nice thing here. But basically, and I found these microphones by accident. This is the microphone, looks like a little tiny turtle. Just sits on the desk. And these are the microphones I use professionally if I'm doing a deposition or something like that. Or anytime I'm doing an office meeting or something like that, then I go ahead and put that out on the table, and I can put 3 or 4 of them out on the table, you know, whatever we need to get the job done, because I got the mixer here that can take, not only can this mixer take 4 different inputs into it, but the mixer, you know, can also take another mixer into it. So you can add, you keep, you know, just piling on how many microphones you got going on there. Rather than one of those big mixing boards, you know, we're just capturing sound, you know, we're just capturing the voice. So that's all we got to do. And then if we got somebody who's a whisperer, somebody decides they want to whisper, then we'll put a microphone directly on them. And this kind of looks like the one I use in a lot of my videos, but it's not. This one here is kind of a neat one. Yeah, it's a little square guy. It's a tiny microphone, but the problem I have with those is that professionally, I work with attorneys and doctors and stuff like that. You know, real big, you know, hoi polloi professionals, but they don't have the they're not actors. They're not professional on air, on TV kind of people, and they kind of manhandle these little connections right here. And the microphone connector, they keep breaking them. The microphone clip, they keep breaking them. So I figured there was another reason to go to a cable microphone, and I just get it close to them. And a lot of times I get away with just putting out one microphone. I'll have 3 or 4 people speaking. If they're sitting close together, I can back up away from them quite a bit because I have long, you know, cables and everything with the microphone mixer and all that. I have additional XLR microphone cables. Yeah, I gotta pull that one out. It's big. Anyways, they're long. I got like, you know, 80, 100 feet of microphone cable I can stretch out, and that works out well. But you know, I can get further back away from them. But if there's somebody that decides to sit a little bit closer to me, then I have to put out extra microphones to make sure I capture everybody. And then with the mixer, I can play around the volume controls to make sure I pick everybody up evenly. You know, some people talk louder naturally than other people. I'm kind of loud. Other people kind of whisper a little bit, but you can use the microphone mixer to kind of pick up the sounds from them. The other thing I was trying to play around with, you know, it's going to be a while before I do that because I got too many other things to do in the meantime and other videos to make and stuff. But the headset, you know, the headset with the microphone built into it, but it might be something I don't necessarily want to go with at this point because if I use this camera, or I use a camera like this where I can input a microphone to it and avoid that. That's one of the things I look for. Hey, there you are, Sharon. Right? How you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, it's an accidental thing. I don't make announcements on when I'm doing live streams. I don't have any live streams yet that are not experimental in nature. So, like, I don't have my lighting. This thing behind me, by the way, I don't know if you can see that so about. There you go. This thing back here with the cords on it and stuff like that, that's actually my lighting rig. You see all the lights up there? And they're basically just clip lights from the big box home supply store or whatever, of your choice, whatever. And I just got those. They got 100-watt light bulbs in them, so I use those. But the for lighting, because I don't have that here, but especially if I use a lighter screen, let me see what happens to my face here. Boom. Yeah, okay. So I can have light basically for my computer screen if I do it this way. And it's, again, this whole experiment is trying to use my consumer camcorder, and it's an old one. It's a number of years old. This is the 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 3 generations of cameras beyond the one I'm using. So this is the Canon Vixia HFR 500 And they got the 6, 7, and the 800. And the 00 version of it, the 500, 600, and 700, they don't have any internal hard drive to save video. You have to use SDXC cards to record the video on. Kind of like a cell phone with an extra card slot. You can record directly to the card as long as you got a proper card for it. But so that's what I'm using here. And again, the idea was use my microphone, use my microphone mixer, use my professional equipment with my consumer level camcorder, which I made a good amount of money with. It's a very good camera for me. And then hook up this Camlink. This is a product by a company called Elgato. I imagine that's a cat, right? See if this thing focuses on that. Elgato. Again, I talked to these folks on the phone today, their customer service. Number one, they had an incredible audio connection with their telephone, so it was great. And it's like they say here, it's hard to see, but it says unleash your camera, right? Unleash your video camera, I hope it says. Anyway, so yeah. You know what? I really can't put on the glasses, or I thought I might be able to see this thing. Yeah, unleash your camera. Oh, and then it's in French. All right, so yeah, so unleash your camera. So that was good, because I've been looking at this thing actually for a couple of years, and I'm like, you know, I can use that and get the HDMI out from my camera and put it in my computer and use it as a webcam. But the additional benefit of that is, hey, if I can use that as my webcam, I have this a professional videographer since 1992, and I've acquired this professional audio equipment over the years, and audio has always been the big deal in the kind of video I do. It's more audio than video, really. But to be able to connect this stuff to a webcam, it's not possible, because I don't know any webcam, I haven't seen any, where you can connect all this equipment to it. It's basically, you see a movie set or where they're doing a digital film or something like that, and they have all this stuff. And then you can go ahead and connect all this stuff to this camera, because it's got all the right connections to it. You can connect your headphones, you can monitor sound live. There's no delay, no feedback or anything. You can connect the microphones to it. You can, hook up your lighting gear behind here. If I had some lighting that attached to a tripod, I could do that too. Matter of fact, I think I can with this lighting, but just haven't had a need to do it yet. What else we got here? Let's go back to the live streaming thing. Oh, that's funny, the advertisement. Actually, I skipped it myself because I wanted to get to the screen and see what everybody could possibly see. But that's neat. Let me see here. Yeah, everybody should visit everybody's channel on here. When I do my live streams, I haven't done that many, but when I do a live stream, I run the text. So the chat. I leave the chat live after the video uploads, so that people come in, and when I go to somebody else's, like try to go to your the No Salt BP video page, and you do a lot of live streams, so I can go through and look at people to see if we're connected, or not, and make sure we can get a connection going and stuff like that. So that's why I leave the live stream there. I don't do, and I'm not a personality kind of person. I'm a hardcore introvert more, so it's actually difficult for me to get on there and do this from my own head. But I don't, I go to a lot of live streams, and I see that there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and that's not me. That's not the kind of person I am. I can't really do that kind of stuff. Oh, another thing we can't really do with a webcam either, right? We can do this. Let me see if I can make this work. There we go. So you can zoom in a little bit. Maybe you don't want to do that. And the OBS software is kind of cool too, because like right now I got the image of me small. This is using what they call the studio version of it, or studio mode down here. And you can bounce this between the two types. That looks really busy. But you can do this between the two types. So what this is a preview window, and it says it up here. Preview window up at the top, and then a program, that's what you're sending out on the stream. So if you want to do anything like, I can make my picture smaller and then hit the transition button. That's like that lever you see, like you see at TV News, they're coming on, they're doing their intro and everything, and they'll have somebody throwing a switch. That's what that is. That's what the transition button is, that big T handle thing that you see on TV. And then they just change stuff, and then you'd hit the big T handle the other direction, and then you'd get the change would happen. Make a bigger picture, boom, transition, and then it happens. Now, the funny thing about this is, because I'm doing a stream, then you see everything I'm doing as I'm doing it. So it's kind of funny, to me that way. So if I wanted to make my picture smaller, and click on that, and I go ahead and make it smaller, hit transition, and you see everything I did live before I bounce back out here to the main screen I want to be hanging out on. So that's kind of a funny thing. That's great for recording and for editing. So that's a cool thing. But for the create, I want to talk about that. I'm going to remember this comment here, the creators helping creators thing. But anyway, so this is I'm trying to get myself set up because I want to do a couple of live streams down the road. My wife, Misdemeanor, has discussed with me, says you should do an Ask Ray kind of question and answer kind of thing, where we do it live. And now the issue I have with that is, I'd love to have, basically where people send me questions, I go ahead and answer them. But that's the kind of videos I do anyway. That was my part of the discussion. It's like, hey, the reason why I did my live stream the other day was because people asked me questions about the COPPA or COPA thing, and about monetizing and making your, also part of the COPA thing was when you do a live stream, like some people do nothing but live streams. I think, Steph Opal is one of them. And she does a lot of live streams, and she sets her settings up, and then she tells me she has to keep setting them up. Everything after the fact. She has to go back in after the fact and try to set things up again, and because it didn't stick. But I did that one live stream the other day where I was talking about COPA, and in that live stream, I set it up for monetization. I set it up as not for kids, and everything worked. I mean, it worked and it stuck. And that was with me using my cell phone, which I've now misplaced. Oh, here it is. Blends in well. So I was doing that for my web, and I did another one too. And this one here as well. This one here is yet another computer. I use my laptop computer. I set up the monetization, the not for kids thing for the COPA thing, and I set some other things up here, the title and description and stuff I kind of started, and I let that go. And it worked, and it stuck. So when the thing uploaded later on, I checked it again, everything stayed the way I'd set it. So that should be fine. It worked that way on the cell phone, it worked on the laptop computer, and I'll check this one here. I'll make another note about that in a future video on how this one worked. Okay, so Sharon brought up the Creators Helping Creators playlist. That was an extension of the community support videos I made when the 4K, 1K rule hit, and we all got kind of slapped around with that a little bit. I started making something because there was like that I'm a creator, and I need you movement, and I think that was really important for that to happen because I knew I was going to get enough subscribers over time. Like I saw that was going that direction, it was happening the right way, and it was going to end up taking place that way. So I knew I'd finally get to the 1,000 subscribers, but the 4,000 hours was going to be a pain for me because unlike most YouTube videos, I was trying to make my videos as short as I possibly could, and I was never asking anybody to subscribe. So, I mean, it just wasn't, the 4,000 hours just wasn't going to happen. I was making videos for a very small audience that didn't have a lot of time to watch videos, and they really just wanted the information, get in, get out, and let's not chat about too much. So that was kind of a recipe for disaster. So in 2017, I started making videos specifically for YouTube, and I had no idea what to make. So I found an idea list of making 100 different videos. So you make these 100 different videos, and they gave us like 4 different areas and 25 ideas, and I just ran with that for a little bit, and I started doing it. And then that gave me the idea, especially with everything happening with 4K, 1K, to make as I was learning stuff and I was finding stuff up to help, finding stuff out to help other people, I would share that information as fast as I could. And I always promised everybody I'd share everything as I learned new things, as if I picked something up before somebody else did, I would share it. So that ended up being Creators Helping Creators. And I kind of expected that playlist to stop at some point. But it keeps going. People ask me questions about things, some new wrinkles in the platform happen and everything, so I will come back and bring that up again and talk about it and bring up a subject, which is why I made that other live stream with my cell phone on the COPA thing. That video was specifically for, and that's a good thing about doing a lot this way. I can actually go back to, I can open up a new window here and go to my page. I can show you which video I'm talking about. So if anybody catches this video later on and everything else, you got to know what I'm talking about. Let's go to YouTube Studio, and I'll punch up the video thing. And let me see here. I just want to make sure that I'm not covering anything with my image. I'm not. So let's go to videos. And then I got to hit live. And then from here, when this loads up, here's the Copa one I'm talking about. And, you know, here's some fun things. Let's look at the stats on this one here. It's hilarious. That's actually comments. Let me look at the statistics on that. And let me go here. Analytics. Here we go. Actually lost 3 subscribers on this video. It's just like I'm doing an experimental live stream, trying to help people out with information about the Copa thing, and I lost 3 subscribers in that video. That hurt. So, you know, that's why you try to help somebody out, right? Anyway, so that was kind of interesting. But it also made $1.84. I think somebody made a donation. It was Miss Kathy, I think, made it. Or no, it was, who was it? Farmall Fanatic made a $2 donation. And I guess that's, you know, after the cut from YouTube, that's what I got from that. And apparently somebody's just watching, somebody just picked into that right now. So that's nice. Anyway, so that's it. And then here's the live thing going. But this is the other test I was doing. I did a 24-minute test. Let me see how this one did. I actually picked up a subscriber, so pretty good. And this one here's getting views too. There's some things I want to talk about that. I'm not going to do it on a live stream because I got to bounce around and find information. But I wanted to talk about some of my videos that I've done and some of the expectations or kind of expectations you hope for, but the different things happen, you know, you kind of didn't expect. I'll give you one right now. There's a fun one I did. I actually had a comment on this the other day. There's a lot of people viewed this one here. I did 2 videos right here. It's this video here. I'll just click on the things here. I did that video here, and I did this video here. These are on a child safety lock. Okay, so it's this video up here, right? And then this video down here, I did this child safety lock. In this first video I did, I didn't actually install it. Somebody called me out on that yesterday or today or something, said, "Hey, he didn't even show it, right? He didn't even show it. He talked about it, but he didn't do it." And so I made the other video where I did it. But I also linked the 2 videos together. So apparently they didn't even go see the other video I made where I showed it. But this one here just took off and did really well. So I want to look at this one here. A video I made about installing a safety lock. And I just want to look at what was going on with this one here. This video had picked up 7 subscribers and made $26.46. And the other thing I want to point out is this little gray line down here along the bottom is my typical performance on a video. This one here had 46% overall duration. And when this line down here under audience retention, let me pull that up the screen a little bit more. When this thing here goes down and comes back up, that means somebody went past that point and backed up to it to watch that part again. So during this video, this part right here was something people wanted to see again, right? So you see that 120% right there? It is possible. Remember, we were talking about that when I rewind somebody's video and watch it again, I never tell them that I do it. I don't tell them, I just do it. And the trick is, because I want to try to see if I can get somebody a little closer to being better than 100% view rate, right? So that's why I do that. That's funny. And then the watch time hours here is pretty big. That's big. And it's changed from minutes to hours. I don't know if it's on everybody's videos like that, but on mine, it all changed to hours instead of minutes. Now on the cell phone, on the mobile device, it still says minutes, but this one here got 138 hours. Let's go back to that other video now and see how that one did. This is the actual installation video now. So I'm going to scroll down here, grab my scrolly mouse, and I'll scroll back down. Now, this is going to be the video where I actually installed that crazy thing. Let me go back here. It is. So see how this one did. We can click on this this is a new thing, by the way, where this changes from editing to analytics and comments. That's a new thing. I just saw a video on that. And here we go. So this one here picked up 2 subscribers and made $11. It hasn't done near as well because this little gray line here along the bottom is wider, you know, like as opposed to the other video. And another cool thing I like to do on these too, I wonder if I can do that. Open this in a new tab. That's good. All right, so this is going to bring me back to my other videos. This is another thing I like doing a lot too, and I'm doing an analytics analysis, right? I'll go back here and I'll find that other video. Here it is, the one that did well, right? So then I can have the 2 up, right, at the same time. I want to, because they're on the same subject. This is the actual installation of the child safety lock, right, and how well it did, right? So the actual one, it's got 1.3 thousand views, right, as opposed to the other one's got 2.4 thousand. So almost twice as many views. 57.8 hours as opposed to 138.3. Picked up 7 subscribers on this one as opposed to 2 on the other one. And that one here made $11 and this one here made $26. Now, I'm showing the money thing. I never edit that out. You know, whatever my income is, I don't do that because I remember years ago, I kind of remember somebody saying something about, hey, there's a non-disclosure agreement with how much money you make on YouTube, but the fact of the matter is, there was like, I don't see anything that when I got monetized on YouTube, it was an accident when it happened, and I never saw anything from YouTube saying, hey, you can't tell anybody how much money you make on YouTube. And I was like, okay, good, because I plan on telling people because can I quit the day job? Oh, dear Lord, no. No, you can't quit, I mean, I can. It's going to take a while. But what I do want is every dime, every dollar that I can make from YouTube is another dollar I don't have to pull out of my savings account, right? So it's passive income once I make the video. And that's another point. I really want to make that. This video right here is a good one. This is that first one I'm talking about. And I'm going to use these two graphs here. I want to talk about this too, briefly. I'm going to talk about more of this stuff in standalone video because it takes me a while to get all this stuff set up. And I'll do it like an OBS thing. Maybe I'll put my picture on the screen and play around more with the camera too. I like doing experimental videos where I can do more than one experiment at the same time, right? So real-time activity, this video, I published it on August 21st. So 21 August 2019 is when I published it, since published. And I wished all of the videos would show up like this. They don't. If you go to an older video, it has a different graph here. But anyways, these ones here are nice because this shows me that over time it's building up, right? Now, that isn't the normal thing. For somebody who has a trendy kind of video, you're talking about Beyonce's latest music or whatever, that's going to be a trendy thing, and it's going to look more like this one here does too. It's going to start off high and then get lower and lower and lower as time goes on. This is not an example of an evergreen video. This is an example of an evergreen video. As long as these folks keep making these safety first, as long as they keep making these child safety locks, at least as long as they make one like this, even if it's not exactly the same, people change things for different reasons, then this video should still do well over time. And it's, come on, what is it, 7-minute video that made $26. I worked 7.5 minutes and made $26. That's pretty good, right? That's not bad. That's, $100, $100 and something dollars, $150 an hour or something like that. Not bad, not bad. So for passive income, right? So, that's pretty good. So as long as this keeps sticking up, look at the income thing. Oh, what I wanted to see, the watch time? That's too close. Let me go back to the channel thing for a second and look at something that's a little bit newer. Thanks for all hanging out for this. I appreciate that. Let me see here. Let's look at, the bald eagles one is fun too, right? Let's look at the bald eagles. We actually picked up 12 subscribers on that one there. Now the thing about that is a short video. It's only 2 minutes and 24 seconds. It's not the best video in the world. I shot it on my cell phone and I tried zooming in. You zoom in on a cell phone, you get what you get. And I could hardly see the eagles because it's too bright. You see this thumbnail up here is severe clear, I call it, right? It's a nice blue day. And the eagles actually in the thumbnail, there's a pole in the middle of the video. That's actually a telephone pole, a light pole, a street light pole. Above that in the thumbnail, if you saw a big image of the thumbnail, one of the eagles is directly over that pole, higher up. And they're huge birds. They're actually huge. So you're seeing these little birds fly around. That's like, I really can't do much. But thankfully, they flew closer towards the end of that 2 minutes and came in a shot. We got 4.9 hours. Now here it is below the gray section here, right? Because it's only a 3-minute video. It's like 2.5 minutes long, right? So I would expect that to be there. So even though there's it didn't do so well. No, it did fine. It's only 2 minutes and 24 seconds, right? Picked up 12 subscribers. That's fantastic, right? And then the views since published, even this one here, it's picking up, over time. So it's good, so that's great. 67.1%. Anything better to me, anything better than 25% is a win, right? And somebody watched it in the last 48 hours, right? So that's great. That's fantastic. It did well for just a short video. I just, I saw the eagles flying around, I just ran around and grabbed a video. My stuff for Barbary, because I'm studying for the bar exam again. This one here picked up 10 subscribers, made $2.48. Now, per subscriber picked up and revenue earned, it's not that much. We got 41 hours of watch time. The gray area is wider, but I tend to think that this is going to pick up over time because people are always looking at this educational software, hardware, books. They're books. I held one up before. You get a whole bunch of books, right? And you have to go through them all. Yay. Anyways, in a short period of time, too. Anyway, so people looked at this in the last 48 hours, got a 38.5% return on that. It's good. So I'm very happy with this one too. I'm just sharing information. Really, it's what I'm doing. I tell people I'm sharing what I'm doing as far as studying the law, alternative education for the study of law, experimental videos on YouTube, different types of YouTube videos that I do, the different types of things that I pick up and learn. And we go to the dashboard thing. You'll see things on the YouTube page. You'll have the harassment policy thing. I haven't talked about that yet. Don't know about that one, and I don't care about that one so much either. Okay, this is a cute little thing showed up on one of my videos. Somebody did a super chat the other day. It's far more automatic. This is Tom from Creator Insider. I'll look at some of their videos, and they did one the other day where they talked about the COPA thing. I don't know if it's still on here or not. YouTube Community tab? No, it's another one. They just released another video about that COPA thing, and it was a follow-up because everybody had a lot of questions about it because there's a lot of problems with it and questions and confusion and stuff. So they came out with another video, and it was very good. So, that was kind of a nice thing. I like seeing that. And what else we got here? So we got a couple of videos, and like I said, I'll do with the analysis. Hey, how you doing? Let me see. Houndsman says, Ray, do you do Q&A on your law videos? I will. What I normally do right now, because I am such kind of an introvert kind of guy, I wait until people ask me questions, and they can ask me questions in comments below kind of stuff, or they can ask me questions in email. They might be a cohort of mine or another law student from another school or whatever, and they'll ask me questions, and I will come back and answer those. And I may make a video about that. So, sometimes I'll answer, I'll do Q&As, where I'll make a video answering somebody's question, especially if a couple of people ask. If I see it happening more than once or twice or whatever, that's good. Then I'll go ahead and do that. Let me see, YouTube update notifications. I do try to make I would like to make another update video, and sometimes I'll actually give a shout out to YouTube. Oh, this is funny, I'm on the wrong page. Let's go over here, there we go. All right, so I'll look at some of the information that YouTube has out, and some of the stuff might be pretty hard to digest, and for anybody, it's not just me having a hard time. A lot of people might have a hard time digesting some of the stuff that YouTube might say. So I'll try to look for the short and sweet thing. And unlike these videos and these other experimental videos I do that kind of go a little longer, those videos I try to keep them short and just kind of do just that, just like I do for the law students. Like I say, my original videos I was making on YouTube weren't for YouTube. They were for my website off of YouTube, and I would just link from my website. I'd say, hey, go check out this video. Go watch this video, come back. Go watch this. And I'd set it up to open up in a new window. So I'd say, go watch this video, shut the window, and come back and read some more. And that's what I would tell people to do on my website, and which again is Recipe for Disaster for Growth on YouTube. But what I do is I try to answer their questions the best I can. And the videos I was making were short and sweet, to the point, Hey, you need to know this. This is what you need to know. This is how you need to know it. Go, do, And get off this video and start go doing it, because you need to actually practice with it. And I would give videos like that. And for the question and answer things, if people ask me questions, or I see there's questions that we need to be asking and nobody's asked me yet at all, even those, like in helping creators, I will go ahead and make a video where I say, go ahead, this is what you need to know about this, get the job done. Like the COPA thing, really the bottom line is, like for my channel and anybody that is not a child's channel, just say no. It's like they say, just say no, right? Nancy Reagan, just say no. And but just say no, it's not a kid's channel. You don't have to restrict it to 18 and above. You don't need to do that. And if your monetization, if your monetization, you can turn on monetization. And for live streams and stuff like that, it should stick. Those should stick. The other thing is on the was that COPA thing. That was really the big thing. I got questions. A couple of people made some very insightful discussion underneath the description, under the video, and make the comment below kind of thing. In there, under a couple of my videos, I had people making the comments. And if I see, like again, sometimes I'll see a question and my mind says, hey, they're saying this, but now it's giving me an idea of something else I need to look at, and then share that with everybody. And then other people are going to make videos about them too. but everybody isn't watching everybody's channel. But if there's enough people making a video out about it, most of the people are going to find the video and get the information they need and be able to move on. So that's, that'll work out well. All right, so I think this is a good experiment. Again, this video here was to test being able to use my, just any old regular video camera, not this, professional one here, but or semi-pro. It was basically a test to use my consumer camcorder. I paid $200 for it years ago. It made money. It paid for itself the first time I used it and made a lot of money after that. It's been a beautiful, beautiful camera, and it actually shoots better video than this camera, So the camera that I'm using shoots better video than this one we did. This one here did 1080i, 720p. It was before the 4K thing came out and all that kind of stuff. This camera here does 1080p, and this cell phone will do 4K, but on the front-facing camera on the cell phone it does 1080p, so that's good. And then the other thing is the getting my regular camera to go into my computer as a webcam, and that's why I use this Camlink 4K. I just picked this up tonight to test it, and I came home and I wanted to test it right away. And then this camera, though, this consumer camera, allows me to hook up a professional microphone mixer using professional microphones with the XLR adapter, right? And it also allows me to monitor live, right, without getting any feedback or anything or any delays. And I can get a longer cord, so it's not just dangling like this. And I can just do the one ear kind of thing too if I want, however I want to do that. And so that works well. So I'm very, very happy with the setup. It worked very well. I'm very happy with the Elgato for it. I'll make a standalone video on this thing and talk about it and show the setup. I use my cell phone camera and I'll do a professional video on that and set that up and show it. Because the company was very helpful to me in making that choice to pick this thing up. I was kind of questioning it at some point, and I was like, no, let's go ahead and try it. And when I brought it home and hooked it up, it instantaneously worked. So, because I could hook up my camera to my computer all day long, and it's like, you can transfer video files over, but you can't show your camera as a camera on your computer. I was like, that's why I didn't put a camera in there, and that's why I didn't, build my computer to have a camera in it, because I expected to be able to use this. But this little device is inexpensive-ish, so it allowed me to get the job done. This thing here costs more than a webcam, but it offers so much more that a webcam's going to do. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to wrap this up for this. I appreciate everybody who stopped by during the stream. I appreciate everybody who comes by after the stream goes live. Don't forget to hit that like button. Drop me a like on the video. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you, and drop a comment below. Let me know you came by to say hi after this thing goes live. And that's going to wrap it up for this one here. It's going to take me a couple of seconds, but until I catch you in the next one, take care and be well. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Now we go through the process of painfully ending the live stream.